It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I had a beer from Lammsbra a few months ago and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think it was their Pilsner I reviewed off the top of my head. And I seen this on Beers of Europe's website, the Lammsbra Edelhell. And I thought, I love a Helles. I love a Helles lager. I'm going to pick this up off the back of how good the other lager, I'm pretty sure it was a Pilsner, was. 5% ABV, half litre bottle, dark brown glass with the Lammsbra bottle cap on it. They've been brewing since 1628. Which is kind of incredible, really, isn't it? That you know, some places in the world where they weren't even living in huts back then, like, you know. And there's Germany, they're brewing fantastic beers. So without further ado, there's a look at the bottle. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, beer in the glass. Oh, look at this, bit of a rigorous pour on this one, just to develop that one finger white head right at the end there. But look at that. Look at the presentation on that beer. Look at it, isn't that great? Great carbonation. Nice and clear. Absolutely wonderful looking Helles. Bright as a button, that. Bright as a button. So this beer is available from my channel sponsor, beersofeurope.co.uk. Beers of Europe are the largest online beer store in the UK with a fabulous range of beers from all over the world. If you love your beer, if you've worked away and you've found that priceless kind of very special beer to you, the beer that you absolutely love, or you've been on holiday and you've had the same situation, maybe sitting underneath a giant umbrella or a beach bar, and you've got this fantastic beer that you drink and you're thinking, I love that beer, I want to try it again when I get back home in the UK. The best place to find it would be beersofeurope.co.uk. The link is in the description box of the video. They're a fantastic company, they really are. Let's get into this one, let's get the aroma. Helles lager then. Picking up lots of grains in this one, lots of kind of light wafer, biscuity like flavours coming through. There's a certain level of kind of peppery spiciness coming through. It's hoppy. It's stinging nettle like. It smells just brilliant, just brilliant. Now, very quickly before I dive into this one, this smells like it's got really good balance. I'm getting a really good balance in the aroma from the biscuit malt, the light wafer malt, and those hops on the back end, them stinging nettle hops. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get in. Cheers, everybody. Right, first and foremost, brilliant beer. German beer, great drinking German beer. But I'm going to question straight away the Helles. It's a Helles style of beer, but it's quite hoppy. And when I say quite hoppy, it's quite hoppy. Let's get in, let's have another taste. Oh, it's tough. It's a real tough one. I suppose you could possibly say it's a cross between a Pilsner and a Helles. The reason why I questioned Helles to begin with was, as I mentioned, it's really quite bitter. And that's where Pilsner comes in. Normally your Pilsner style beer, great bitterness on the back end, and a Helles is kind of normally scaled back a little bit. You're normally kind of like, with a Helles, it's kind of like, not so bitter. But then again, I'm slightly kind of wavering back and forth here because the beer is nice and biscuity. Maybe that's what they've gone for, Lammsbra here. They've gone for that kind of quite high bitterness, but they've also gone for that really kind of malty, grainy beginning, just to balance off that kind of bitterness with some sweetness over here. It's peppery, it's spicy, it's herbal and kind of stinging nettle like. So the stinging nettle flavour I talk about here is of course the hop, but it's very closely related on the Darwin tree of life. Pardon me. The stinging nettle is very closely related to the hop. So if you use very traditional German hops, because when they first started brewing German beers, almost certainly back in the day when this brewery started in 1628, they would have used kind of stinging nettles and kind of like whatever kind of like bushcraft stuff they can find to make the beer, kind of preserve it, if you like, preserve the beer. And then later on they realised that they weren't not only preserving their beer, but they were kind of flavouring their beer at the same time. So it went from using stinging nettles to a very kind of like early breed of hop. Because of course, us human beings, we've now bred hops and we've bred lots of different hops, and we've realised that planting a hop in Germany and then planting that same hop in New Zealand, with soil differences and with temperature differences, you're going to get a completely different kind of flavour from that hop, even though it's the same breed. So they learned to kind of breed hops and kind of manipulate hops for beer and its flavour. So it kind of, I suppose, the manipulation was to get it to taste almost like a stinging nettle flavour. It's fantastic. I love it. It's one of my favourite flavours in beer now. Earlier on in my beer drinking journey, I never quite got on with Pilsners or Helles. You guys know that. I wasn't really a big fan of German beer, but now I get it, and I get it completely. That's a brilliant beer. Absolutely brilliant beer. Rocking the beer back and forth. You can see that carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It's been out the fridge about 15 minutes just to let it warm up a little bit. Great carbonation, great lacing, great look to the beer. A really well behaved beer. Is there anything that we can see on the back here that just natural flavour, natural kind of stuff going on here? Mineral water, malt, hops and yeast. There we go. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Neumarkter Lammsbra Edelhell. If you're able to pick this beer up from Beers of Europe, please do so. It's quite fantastic. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.